wanna get it crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club.
Skill game goes stronger and stronger for Valorant Game Changers APAC. My name is Donut, and with me is my co-caster Tash Bunny, and we will be bringing you the stories for day number 3. Actually, there's a lot of stories that we have to say, but Tash Bunny, can you tell me more about what's expected for today?
Okay, so first match today, Sovereign versus SMG. And I was just telling my co-caster Zera Aura that I am super stoked for this one. SMG is a team that's very hungry. They're a team that kind of falls short and they want to find that it factor. And they're going as a team. Undoubtedly, they're kind of underdogs, very new team, but the players have played in the VCT Game Changers before. We saw them yesterday. They went 0-2 against team Nigma Galaxy in a very terrifying statement match from them. So I'm sure that they today are going to try and make a comeback. And it just so happens that their biggest hurdle right now is going to be SMG.
Yeah, definitely. And it's going to be something challenging because this is do or die for them. So they really have to play all of their hearts out for game number 1. And it's so early in the morning. Of course, gamers are not really used to these types of things, but I'm sure they prepared for these matches because, as I mentioned, it's going to be do or die. They have to give everything that they have got so that they can move forward in their own brackets. But actually, game number 2 is something interesting as well because we will be seeing AECL. And NGX actually has just gotten into the playoffs platform of Open 4 after a lot of the opens. This is the first time in a long time that we will be seeing them. And they're looking pretty good. All of their games are actually a 2-0. And as I mentioned before, even though you lose in the couple of opens, it gives you your own chance to shine because of the VCT Game Changers APAC platform. So what you're watching right now is Open 4, but there's a lot at stake as well for VCT Game Changers Open Overtime and then the last chance qualifier until we get to Game Changers APAC Elite.
Yeah, Elite is what everyone has their eyes on. And I think Open 4 has been one of the most surprising opens yet. We saw so many new faces. One of the biggest teams did not make it this time. More competition means bigger prize pools. And for this Open 4, we have a $5,000 prize pool where the first place champion will be going home with $1,500, followed with $1,200 for second place. Third place will be the $800 prize. Fourth place with $600, fifth and sixth with $300, and finally 7th and 8th place with $150. So coming back to what I was saying in terms of competition, it was very funny because one of the organizers, a nice person called Kim, she was tweeting last night about how the games have been ending past midnight, which means that it's been very, very competitive. And we saw, I think for the sub stream last night, we saw Zach and I think it was Kentrell just casting all the way up to 1 a.m. I believe. It was just insane. And also coming in here, looking at the groups, I mean, are you surprised at seeing how competitive it is? It's not only just big teams making it back here. There's so many newer teams. Like Orangutan, we saw them last stage and they're back hungry. Nigma Galaxy, this is their statement comeback. Teams like yesterday, Thirst Red, have been absolutely phenomenal, just surprising us with just insane gunplay. And of course, you also have all these other teams as well, which I missed out yesterday because I believe it was Brent Victress going up against AECL, which took them all the way to game number 3. And I saw the Indonesian fans were just in the chat, just like, are you sure it's going to be a comeback? They have to come back. So you can tell them that they have a lot of fans.
Yeah, definitely. And the fans really want to know what's at stake here and what's in store for today. Because as you mentioned, there are newer teams now in the playoffs and it's quite surprising. And as I mentioned before, Thirst Red might be somebody that we have to look out for,
We
because Thirst
absolutely
Red
do.
actually eliminated X10 Crit
Exactly.
during the group stages. How could we even imagine that happening? Because X10 Crit has always been the consistent team in the playoffs, and now that they're not playing, we see a new set of play styles now in Open 4. And actually, the turnout for some, we see a couple of residents here. We have Bren Victress, Alter Ego Celeste, SMG, and Orangutan. But at least for Sovereign and Thirst Red, I mean, they're new to the playoffs. We've seen them before, but now it's their time to shine. And as I mentioned before, this is do or die.
It
For
really
the teams
is.
that are in the lower bracket. So I think I'm expecting a lot of matches. We will be casting 3 in total, but I'm expecting 9 actually, to be honest. I tweeted about it earlier, and it might be a caster curse, but I don't really care. I want to see all of the games happen.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we did go to 3. There were a lot of situations yesterday where even though it was a 2-0, it wasn't really like, if you go into the games, it's always like 13-11, maybe 13-8. It's very close. But looking at the leaderboard right now, AECL at the top still at 60 points with X10 Crit and Ren Esports Victress 1 point deficit of each other, 48 and 47. SMG and Zol Moraki as well as Aresta still maintain their positions as Fuma go up 1 spot here, 32 points ahead of Quintuplet. 9th place, Gamdaing, and 10th will be 0-0 KDA going up. Orangutan, this is the biggest improvement, up by 6, and it just shows that how their structure and what they're doing right now is just really working. Coming into, bringing the girls together. Singapore, it's just been phenomenal for them. Big Side going up 4, Enigma Galaxy Female going down 1 spot, Sovereign up by 4, Asteria down by 3, and Team Nevermind, or NVM rather, up by 4. So these are the brackets as well. As we saw yesterday, AECL and Bren Victress took 2-1 last night. That was a very, very long match. And today we're going to be seeing them go head-to-head against Enigma Galaxy. And oh my god, that is definitely one of the matches that I really wish I could watch live. But coming back down into the lower bracket, the first match for today, going to see Sovereign against SMG, and then Bren Victress against Thirst, which I think this is also another insane match to watch.
Definitely. I mean, in their name, Thirst Red, they're thirsty for the win, but will they actually get it from the Victress themselves? V stands for victory, but the losses will come in anyway. But the question really is, who will we celebrate for today? In today's matches, we touched on a little bit on Sovereign versus SMG. There's a reason why they're called Sovereign. They might be all high and mighty against the guns, the big guns of SMG, right? But as you mentioned before, SMG, I saw a difference in their gameplay in day number 1. Before, it used to be about how complex their gameplay is, how Kohaibi has always been the star of the show, but other members of the team are starting to pop off. Like Fixky, she was a consistent team MVP in day number 1. It wasn't something that we expected, but we really love to see.
Yeah, so talking about that, let's talk a little bit on the other side of the coin, Sovereign. So they are, as I mentioned before, they are definitely a team that's new in the name, but the players are definitely experienced. We saw maybe like Che from Wolf Pink before, and I believe they also made it, they defeated Fuma 2-0, taking up the spot during the knockout stage. And this is also something really interesting because we are starting to see these teams not only improve but also climb up to the top. So we have Che, Elaine, Joey, Lucidity, and Ray. So Lucidity is the player to look out for, but she wasn't necessarily their duelist. She was more flex than anything. She was playing KO last night. She was also playing Reina. And Sovereign, I believe, is a team that likes to default back to comfort picks. And it was a very interesting comp that they brought in. We saw Cypher last night.
Yeah, I mean, these picks and the flexibility of the teams is also seen for Team SMG. Maybe the flexes are somebody that we should really look out for. And for Team SMG, that's going to be Envious and Fixky. Envious has been really popping off no matter what agent she uses, whether it be an Omen, whether it be a Jet. I
I'm
mean,
a big
all eyes
fan.
are on her.
I'm a big fan of Envious on Omen. Like, it doesn't matter like what agent she plays. I'm just a big fan of her smoke criminal plays, her very sneaky picks. I just can't stop talking about her. Even though I'm casting another VCT, it's still gonna be her I will be talking about.
Definitely. And another person to really talk about is Fixky. As the initiator for the team, whether it be a Sova, she really provides so much support for the team. And if you have a support that delivers the frags as well, of course, it's going to be something to really be wary of. In the presence of her in the arena, some people, like I myself, if I go against her, I will be shaking. Fixky has been delivering consistency, and consistency is what we want to see. Will we see though a 2-0 or a 2-1? Given the map picks, we're seeing SMG ban bind. This is always going to be a case for them. They don't really want to touch bind, but they wanted to touch on Fracture. What do you think about this?
I think that Fracture is definitely a map that can catch a lot of teams off guard. As a lot of teams do try to practice Fracture, very few actually have mastered the map. So Thirsts was just one of those teams yesterday, I believe, that really dominated and shone on that map. And coming back to that, we're also going to be seeing Icebox. I feel like Icebox, a lot of the big name teams have already, or rather a lot of teams have started to master it. And I started to think that this is a staple now alongside Haven as well as Ascent. Speaking of Ascent, that's going to be the decider map. So I'm a little bit concerned for Sovereign just because of their comfort picks. Because as we go throughout the seasons of Valorant, there's always going to be agents that are going to be better in terms of their utils, in terms of how they play. But when you look at a team like Sovereign yesterday, I was a little bit skeptical. Like, okay, a Reyna pick, okay, no Jet, okay, a Cypher, but in a way they also still make it look good, which just shows that how much mastery they have on the agent themselves. But at the same time, it's a double-edged sword because that lack of util can also mean your downfall.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in terms of the utilities, usually the picks and the agent selection of SMG, they have it all. They have a Breach, they have a Sky, they have a Sova, and they prioritize all of the utilities. And we see how they win these rounds just by using all of the pressuring the sites when it comes to the attack, and also when it comes to the retake. I think that's the beauty of really taking advantage of your own comfort picks. Whether there be flexibility in terms of the selection in each of the map that they select, but their picks are based on their strategies, and their strategy is to really overwhelm. And if you have a lot of utilities coming your way and you can't shoot the rest of them, you have the Breach blind coming your way, especially in the map of Fracture. I am assuming Yoki will be selecting the Breach this time. It's so hard to miss all of the blinds. So for sure, the anchors of the side for Sovereign, they have to really back down a little bit.
Yeah, I have to say that Breach this season especially has been one of the most picked agents. Just so versatile. You can play him in a way that is selfish, using it to your advantage, or playing with your team. As opposed to previous seasons when we saw in Valorant, you have to actually really work with your team for a Breach. Now we see that more aggressive gameplay coming from him. It's just been so good. But we're seeing Chamber as well. Despite the nerf to Chamber, the trips, it's still not stopping people from picking him. Yes, you only have one trip, but the firepower as well as the value that comes in from those picks far outweigh what you're losing out on at least one trip.
Yeah, definitely. And but at least now, Kfredite has been sporting the Chamber for quite some time now, and she's really good because of her aim. We won't really call her Clutch Fredite for a reason, because if she's in a situation of a 1v3, 1v4, we expect her to deliver. And it's not just about the use of utilities for her, even as a Killjoy or as a Chamber, but it's also about her aim.
Oh,
and
is that really a Yoru?
Her,
I'm so sorry.
a Yoru?
Is that
Yoru
Yoru?
pick for Sovereign, sometimes it really works. And
It
if you
can.
couple it,
It
yeah,
can.
if you couple it with a fade, it's so
It
effective because you won't
is.
really hear
Select
where the
your
teleport
agent.
will be coming in.
Ah, so
Like if
unlucky.
you gate crash, Oh,
when that didn't
but no.
happen. I was so disappointed. But honestly, Yoru is one of those agents that works so well on Fracture. There's so many angles you can play. There's so many hidden areas where you can teleport to. It's similar to how you would teleport as maybe an Omen or even a Chamber. But sorry, I'm so sorry. I cut you off. Please continue.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I mean, even I was surprised by the Yoru pick. I was looking at SMG's lineup, talking about how this is a staple for them. Because looking at the stats, Tash Money, they haven't lost a map.
Oh,
of
wow.
Fracture. They haven't. It's 100% win rate
Oh,
for them
wow.
in the total of their games. But for Sovereign, it's 50%, but they only played 2.
Yeah. So I think at this
Yeah.
point we don't know what they have in mind for this map itself. But this is SMG's pick, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah,
we
it
can
is.
already assume that SMG pretty much has this whole map down pat. And on top of that, seeing how SMG plays before and how this map is designed for lurkers, for flanks, I wouldn't be surprised to see SMG play that way. I wouldn't be surprised to see SMG play that every round is an attack round. It doesn't matter whether we're on attack or defense.
Yeah, I mean, with how they would usually play this map is they would want to prioritize the flanks. I've been seeing this trend for SMG that every time there is going to be a distraction, during their defense, what will happen is Sovereign will push towards a site. Everybody else is going to be distracted by the anchor. But little do they know that behind them is going to be either Kohai B with Envious
pinch
or
strat.
Envious with Yoki. And yeah, and the pinch strat works so well for them. Every time that the members of their opponents are not looking at them, they strike.
Yeah. I'm really curious as to, more like Sovereign, because last night, me and Zira Aura, we were just saying that, okay, we're seeing a lot more comfort picks. Reina, Cypher, and we were just questioning, like, is this really how you want to move forward? Because you miss out on a lot. But today, we're seeing that change come in from Sovereign. We're seeing them pick more standardized agents, like Chamber. Like yesterday, she was just fully on the Cypher. Now she's on the Chamber. And this is really exciting because Chamber, one of the benefits of him on this map is that holding sight is a very strong thing. Making sure that no one is flanking, at least from the closer areas, because you only have one trip, is also a very big deal. Joey today on the Jet instead of Arena gives them so much benefit because you can take sides so easy. And if you are able to get those picks, you can cover so much ground, whether it be gap closing or escaping. So they have really nice smokes as well, which is the Astra. And Astra is great because it can deny plants with the gravity well. You can pull people together and just go crazy by throwing maybe a fragment or even just an aftershock if you want to. But on the other hand, for SMG, I'm really liking the Brimstone pick. I feel like Brimstone is just so great on Fracture because of how small and compact the area is. The orbital strike takes up so much space, and suddenly you're forced out of the site altogether. You're back into, maybe main, maybe the site area where it's so easy to pick those enemies off one by one, especially if you're already holding that area.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest difference between the selection of the Brimstone for Fixkey, it's really more of capturing the site altogether. But for Astra, Ray might be really prioritizing the isolation. You can do a lot with the smokes, as you mentioned. You can use it as a Nova Pulse. You can use it as a Gravity Well. But I think what might be the game changer here is the Astra Wall, the Cosmic Divide that can give them
Yes.
so much of the space. During the post plan, of course, you will just really wait for that big wall if you're really waiting in A. And basically you're just waiting for them to come through the door.
Right there.
And then when they knock, they get killed. But now we're starting the first round. We see here Kohaibi with the
Oh my
aggression.
God.
Envious takes 2 headshots. And even with Kohaibi, Elaine strikes back with a kill. But she's in danger. She still gets the kill. Following through is Fixkey. But Yoki is waiting here in A. It's all down to lucidity. As you mentioned, she's a great player. But there's 3 that she has to overcome. She throws in that stun and the flash doesn't really connect. Yoki gets the kill and the first round, pistol round, goes to SMG.
That was a very long range with that frenzy all the way from there, but she managed to control the sprays, getting her down very, very fast. Now, what's interesting is that we already predicted that this was going to happen, at least from SMG. Just pushing forward, you saw the confidence coming in and how fast they can just do it. Because from Dish, you saw how that she was able to just, Envious was just able to just push forward, go to the other side, swing, and just get two before she was finally stopped. But her teammate was already there to help out. So in a way, it was very, very worth it trade. And if you saw just how Lucidity was coming in from the other side, it was just so unfortunate because they kind of need her utils to get that information moving forward. Because without Lucidity with them at that area, it's hard for them to really figure out who's pushing in, who was gonna be there. But for now, look at how Kohaibi already have moved out or laid the first victim. But in the corner there is gonna be Lucidity not able to move forward. Coming through, pushing forward as the other teams as Chet gets one into Aphrodite. It's just Chet all alone, running for her life right now. Only a classic in hand. She is gonna get the plant, not quite as Vixky shuts it down. In round 2, SMG still takes it, but round number 3 is what Sovereign is eyeing as they start going for those full buys.
She wanted to run for her life and even get the plant, but timing is everything, and Fixky was there at the right moment to stop that. So no extra credits for Sovereign now, but still they're able to buy out what they need. The rest of the members here, they have the Vandals, they have the Phantom, so they can strike back after Team SMG overwhelms them. Look at this push. Kohaibi just moves forward together with Envious without any fear at all. Even Aphrodite is taken down. There's one casualty. Great round for SMG.
I'm really liking this confidence coming in. It's to the point where it felt like Sovereign was a little bit too scared to move into main at all. They already are anticipating that. Speaking of that, Ray does pick one, but Fixky gonna trade it out, but does not realize that Ray was hiding in a corner. And these picks have been vital. Playing those sneaky corners is one of the main ways to be playing Fracture. I think that Ray finally has it nailed down. In the corner here, Joey gets one. Joey gets two, actually, make it 3, as they finally get a lot of value from these rifles on round 3.
Yeah, they were taken down one by one. At least there were trades there in Arcade, but the objective is to get to A, and they got it. Ray's first kill there was beautiful. The trade, but Fixky did not know where Ray was. Joey, the push forward, the aggression stopped SMG and their tracks. So at least Joy here, she's not afraid of anything as well. If Kohaibi and Envious just really want to push forward, so will she.
Yeah, Joey, dash already turned on, but for now, they saw the Roomba, they saw the jump peaks, but look at this concuss and immediately have to give up that space. This is SMG reacting to the teammates. They know concuss is out, they push forward, flash comes through, but it doesn't really matter. Kohaibi still gets Elaine. Now Joey, she has to give the space. She is all alone. She has to be careful in case it's going to be a double peek. Kohaibi as well, waiting on the other side, but look at how scattered all the team members are. Looks like B is where they want to hit, but they aren't exactly there just yet, as Aphrodite gets raised straight in the face with the Bulldog. Chet pushing forward right now. Lucidity through the smoke. I'm not too sure if Aphrodite actually noticed that. Probably heard a sound cue. Joey moving forward here. They actually need Joey to initiate the entry, but SMG Envious already gets to Kohaibi, finds Chet. And right now it's a flawless round for SMG.
That was a great round. I mean, the amount of space that Ray was able to take away from them, I thought that Chet would have to find the timing. As she went up there and actually captured the site already, nobody was looking at her. But Envious, nobody also was looking at her. This is what I told you about the pincer. Even though Kohaibi is down in the first kill, Envious delivers with a double from that backstab. And now Sovereign, they're pushed to just buy these these SMGs, a Phantom at least for Joey because it does deliver. I mean, sorry, Lucidity, because she does deliver. the kills and the frags for the team.
Personally, I would rather see Joey playing with the team, taking up space on the site itself. But Che will be the one caught out here. As Che tried to play the alert game, Elaine holding up that angle as Fixie comes through a little bit faster on that first contact for Heidi as well. Joey, she does get a tag, not necessarily the kill, and the kill will go into Envious' pocket. Lucidity, last lady standing here. Will she get one of? Yes, she does, puts it in her pocket. Hybe has to move away. She is just so very low, but look at the reactions coming through here from the members of SMG. They know the spike is there. They're just waiting, but Fixie says that's enough as we go next.
That was another almost flawless round for Team SMG. I mean, are they really defending? They just really want to push forward all the time, take advantage and take control of the first bloods, because at least here in the map of Fracture, it's too big yet too narrow, so you really get the advantage when it comes to drawing those first bloods. And Aphrodite did so well when it comes to that first frag, so crispy when it comes to the headshot, taking advantage of that low buy for Sovereign too. Yeah, definitely. They're not afraid to push forward. And speaking of not afraid, it's gonna be Aphrodite, but she has to fear Lucidity. She is there, and her null command is online. Fixie stuck in this corner. She's even stunned, and Joey, she delivers the kill.
Look at that, how even the crouch wasn't able to save her just yet. Lucidity is still waiting. They're very aware that SMG is just on the other side, just buying their time, because that's all they need to win it. The flash coming through immediately sprays through. 25 HP left. She still gets it. Lucidity and Ray get one each. Aftershock comes through as well as Lucidity. 3K in the pocket. Is she finally online? I really hope so.
Yeah, I mean, Sovereign stroke back. I mean, they always will strike back. When it comes down to at least capturing the site, they figured out the solution. If we play it slow, each and every time SMG will push forward. So if we push forward all together, then we overwhelm them. And even when it comes down to Envious holding the operator for the team, it did not really deliver, because when she peeked out, she saw two bodies and she missed. Barely getting the kill here. But that's an advantage for SVR. Their aim is so great. That's why they're moving forward. They want to be fast, but faster is Kohybe, delivering with the showstopper. Joey strikes back. Paint Chills pushes her back together with the team.
Look at that utility usage with the paint shells as well as the aftershock. You either have to go straight up forward or immediately backward, but it's going to be at the cost of some chip damage. And it's an ideal situation here from SMG. Che still playing the lurks. She's been getting some value out of it. And I believe Joey misses that shot. Not misses that, but the other person on the other side! Melee Kohybe knows that Chet was there, spots out the gun barrel. The other members of SMG, this is how they're playing. They're like, okay, if you won't come to us, we're not gonna push out this time, but we're gonna be super disciplined. We're just gonna wait and react to you, depending on how you wanna go. Here comes the Rolling Thunder as well. Joey, unable to get onto site there, is gonna buy some time. There the Molly simply jumps forward, takes a lot of damage. Even the smokes are up there. But this Aphrodite moving forward here. She knows she's coming through! Shotty to the face. Fisky gets one and Kohybe as well. That's a 3K for her. Suddenly, SMG brings it back, and Sovereign has to pick up the pieces.
Gosh, that was such great discipline there for Aphrodite. She had the ultimate online, but she did not want to use it sparingly, so she wanted to just use it first, then opt for that 200 credit gun, and she delivers the kill together with the ultimate as well from Fixie. It was such a great capture of the site, not even letting Sovereign plant down the spike. And this is what we love from SMG, the coordination, and each time we see them, the improvement in terms of the team play. And Sovereign, they really have to figure out how to break the defense of Team SMG. They give Cosmic Divide to try and isolate this and get down the plant. So this is going to be a tricky situation for SMG.
I'm a little curious. I mean, that's what I want to talk about, but for now, look at that. Fixki and Chet getting a trade. Each Fixki is so very low. Aftershock gonna make her have to move away as well. But now the Cosmic Divide is gone, and Envious immediately finds Ray. Top Flash is ready as Fixki moving forward. Right now, they already have the side. Lucidity trying to come out here. Fortunately, Envious was ready. Lane as well as Fixki trade out, but not before Kohaibi finishes it off. I have to say that I was a little bit concerned. I mean, they used the Cosmic Divide very early to take the round, but you know that Cosmic Divide does have a certain amount of time. And finally, when it goes down, SMG was very patient. They were just waiting for it to go down before they finally strike. That patience and discipline is what won the round.
Definitely, and I love that you mentioned using the Cosmic Divide pretty early because you have the smokes from the Astra. She could have used it to at least try and cover their tracks, and then maybe use the Cosmic Divide to try and stop them from repeating. Here, once the wall goes down, it was just an overflow of SMG kills. There were trades, but SMG just always wins them out.
Yeah. We don't want to see a situation here where these ultimates are the only win conditions for Sovereign. SMG, they don't really have that. So now Sovereign, they have to figure out how to crack their heads. How they're going to deal with this as Fixki immediately gets Elaine and Aphrodite trades out as well. That crossfire was absolutely scary. Did not even realize there was someone else beside her. Aphrodite just sprayed through that smoke there just to check if anyone's playing a close quarter. That's not happening, and this is a very sticky situation. They don't have Lane to kind of like lead them onto the site, but they already have it, says Che. Immediately headhunter straight to Aphrodite's head. Yoki will find Drake in return. Fixki just put down that smoke system for her to play it forward. There is the beacon as well. So you are going to be seeing this crossfire for two different angles. Kohaibi is ready for the backside. Flanks is not going to be able to be carried out here. And suddenly, it's Chet all alone. And Chet is in a situation where she is pincered. She goes up, she goes down. There's going to be someone on both different areas. And there's a satchel as well to push her out of the way. No one gets popped out here. The aftershock as well sprays from Kohaibi. And she gets it 7-2. And Sovereign still hasn't managed to figure out the puzzle.
Team SMG with the timing. That was lovely from Yoki. The team of SMG, Sovereign, they thought that they could already plant the spike, but the smokes are a false sense of comfort. Looking at Yoki there, she managed to try and stop down the plant, and the rest of the members, as you mentioned, this is the pincer strategy for SMG in the defense. And if you don't look out for Kohaibi behind you, you will be taken down. Sovereign, though, they didn't really have so much success in B, but they want to try. They want to try again, but they can't try this time. Aphrodite with the operator delivers the first kill. But still, at least there is an opportunity for them to get to Dish and Lane. Just really wants to get on the flank, but I'm not really too sure if she will deliver the kill. She needs to get one so that at least it's an even favor. But Kohaibi doesn't really make that happen. She takes down Che, and even Envious, she's waiting for Lucidity. It's just now down to Elaine and Ray. Elaine is creeping up through Arcade, but Aphrodite, I think she's ready. She senses that one is here.
I think this is a very sticky situation for Sovereign.
One enemy remaining.
Their plays are just getting found out over and over again. And that was one. They try to make it two, not quite. Unfortunately whiffs it. She brings out the shorty. Immediately Ray moves forward, trying to get some space into that, but Wallbang is just making it so hard with Aphrodite. She snipes 3. Now coming back to what I was saying earlier, it's a very sticky situation from Sovereign. We want to play default. We're getting picked off one by one. We're not winning our jewels. We want to push in together. We're getting stopped as we move up together.
One enemy
and
remaining.
I believe I would really like for Team Sovereign to really use their utils together in a way that can really make sense. Chit has been trying to play Lurk like how Chamber would, but she's not winning those duels as she gets caught out either by Kohaibi or Envious. Elaine tries to get onto site, but the counter utils coming back from SMG, as well as a confident sort of gunplay coming through as well, is not exactly helping their case. And this is a situation where I really feel for Sovereign because they're just not able, they get one, and then suddenly SMG reshuffles and rethinks again, and suddenly they're just like, okay, that worked last round, but suddenly SMG have already figured it out.
Yeah, and right now, it's a strong defense here in A, whether they be coming from drop or if they're coming from the main entrance of A. So they are going to be ready for this. They figure out where they are, and Kohybe delivers yet again with a showstopper. Following through is Envious, and the 3 there in A are already done for. Yoki, however, knows that they're there in drop, so that's why there's going to be smoke delivered, but they want to secure the spike even though they're strong there in drop because there is a headhunter. The spike is nowhere near them, and
30
they need
seconds
to
left.
be able to retrieve that. The smokes provide them cover, but not quite. Che delivers a kill against Fixkey, but 14 HP, 20 seconds as well for them. What's left for them to do? Not anything else but to deliver the kills. They move forward, but on Envious. Envious delivers a double kill and double headshot. They
Last
seem
round
to
in the
be
half.
unstoppable here in the defense. And they have a 100% win rate, and this is the reason why the double peaks. The double picks as well. All the time, multiple kills delivered by either Kohybe, Envious, and Kfredite, just the solid anchor for the A site.
Honestly, everyone on SMG has just been on a whole new level. From last stage to this stage, I'm seeing a huge improvement. And that hunger we saw from last stage till now is definitely something else. You see there's a more aggressive approach coming here from Sovereign, but it's gonna be denied. Rolling Thunder as well, thrown out. Fortunately, no follow-ups. We are going to be hearing that null command come through. Envious is not scared, comes through. Unfortunately, whiffs it as Joey brings her down. Fixkey will trade her out, but Lucidity is just not offline just yet as Kfredite picks Ray off. Joey in a position where she needs to retrieve a spike. She gets it, and suddenly there's only 2 of them left. They want to move forward. Kohybe and Fixkey,
Attacker
they
spawn.
get 1 each. All alone once more. There's a lot of pressure on her shoulders. She's not even close to the spike. And in a lot of situations, you are going to be seeing Team SMG hunt for the last lady standing, but you are always going to see that assurance come through as well, as they do not move from the spike. Very disciplined, I have to say. And this also comes from confidence because they know that they're able to fend off on their own without help. Chet all alone here, checking every
30
single
seconds
corner.
left.
Yoki giving up the space a little bit just to make sure that she doesn't get sprayed out here. A little bit of a change. But there's Kohybe from the side. She was distracted the whole time.
Switching sides.
Yeah, Che just really had one job to do. She wanted to flank. She wanted to make sure that she gets some space for the
One
team.
enemy
But
remaining.
even if
Spike
she
down.
is the last one standing, I mean, what can she do? SMG has already taken space. They've already taken the kills. And at that point, it's always going to be that trend, right? It's going to be either 2 or 1 person left for Team Sovereign. And they should be overwhelmed by Team SMG's manpower. It's always going to be 4 remaining for them. And if it's always going to be a 2v4, that's going to be quite challenging for them. But at least now, maybe that's their struggle. The attack is a struggle, but maybe they have another plan for the defense. But looking at SMG, they already aggressed during the defense rounds, right? So we can expect a more coordinated push when it comes to them getting into A. I've seen Kohybe satchel in together with Envious when it comes to taking the sites. That's going to be quite scary. And with the support that they have with Yoki and Fixkey as well, I'm not too sure if Sovereign can control this type of aggression for Team SMG.
It's a very oppressive and very chaotic situation, which I believe SMG really thrives in. in a lot of situations there, I felt that Che was a little bit off in terms of timing when it comes to syncing up with those teammates, and I don't blame her at all. It's because that their idea of meeting up together was not factoring in the fact that SMG would be waiting from them as they move into B at all. So this comes back to maybe they should be playing together, playing it more aggressive, but that confidence is just not there for Sovereign. It's a situation where it's just so oppressive seeing the firepower, how they use their abilities from SMG that's not allowing Sovereign to do that. In a lot of situations here, now that attack is done, perhaps we'll be seeing a little bit more of an improvement as we saw yesterday on Breeze. But the question is, how exactly is Sovereign going to be playing this? Are they going to, because it's a map where, yes, in terms of rotation and defense, it's a lot more easier to reconvene with teammates. But what I'm worried about is the post-plant situation. Can they hold it? Can they actually break into that post-plant situation? Are they fast enough to get there before SMG actually sets up everything?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best decision is to really hold down the site. I mean, they have the formula to success. They have the Astra, and they also have the KO to try and slow things down for SMG. And if they don't really break that, SMG will show so much more confidence. I think I loved what you said about SMG exuding that confidence in this map. And I could really see that there's imbalance for the team of Sovereign. Probably they weren't ready for this fracture pick. Probably they did not expect SMG to be so powerful in this map. That's why they're losing control of the map. That's why they couldn't really rethink their strategies in terms of the attack. But now, a stun comes in for Sovereign, but still they're ready for the push. A three-person defense here. Elaine takes down Envious, and Kohaib follows through with a kill together with Yoki. 20 HP, but help is coming. Sovereign is ready for the kill. Takes down Yoki, but Joey as well together with Lucidity. It's a 3v3. Kohaib doesn't really have anything in terms of utility, so they really have to prioritize the duels. Aphrodite delivers with the Headhunter and Pixie with a Frenzy, creating some Frenzy. Lucidity in a 1v1, not capturing, but still she gets the headshot. This is what we want to see from Sovereign, getting the kills and getting the retake.
Oh man, finally that deja vu moment from last night is coming back, as on defense side Sovereign does a bit better. And I have to say, the reason why is they pretty much are in a situation where they don't have to initiate and they just react. They do so much better, and they're able to really coordinate as opposed to attack just now. And even just now, as Fixkey really tried to play sneaky in the front there, she already heard the audio cues. That reaction from Lucidity was absolutely phenomenal. And for Sovereign, Lucidity, she already has a rifle. She moves forward. She does have a Marshal here. And this is aggressive plays is what I wanted to see from Sovereign. Regardless, Rush comes through, jump peek. They are aware there's a Marshal there. And look at the reaction coming through. They're like, okay, we don't really want to challenge this Marshal. Let's go over to the other side. Spike into Envious's hands here. Joey still waiting. They're not going to react just yet. And this is very classic Sovereign move, as they just play in a way where we react when it comes to defense, and then suddenly we play by strength of numbers, by our utils, and just go ham. And I believe in a lot of situations as well, it's been working out so well for them. Last night, I don't believe it's going to be changing anytime soon. But SMG is a team that's also just as patient. They are not afraid to take their time, but look at these utils immediately used already on the side. It is Envious, but Lucidity just spots her out. For now, Lucidity from the side just sprays through the smoke. She didn't get the value out of that, but came for Daddy finds Elaine. Lucidity gets 3 already. She finds them from both angles. Still waiting here. She does get 1 for the spray. She gets 2. And for now, Sovereign, that's a very dominating win. But round 3 is where SMG gets the rifles. And this is where it gets pretty scary.
This is where the firepower of Team SMG comes out. They might have won the pistol round, and Lucidity just delivers clean headshots and that spray transfer from Joey. This is what we want to expect from Sovereign, but can they handle now the power of SMG? Full Vandals on the board for them, and I think they're going to be ready for the push. Probably, of course, there was a little bit of disparity in terms of the guns. Now they want to strike back. Early peek there for Joey. She knows that there will be people behind that door, but Go Hybe just moves forward. There's a smoke in their way, but Envious doesn't really care. They're still gonna push forward. Probably wait for the smoke to dissipate before they strike. Now the smoke is down. Elaine is gonna be here. She figures one out, but Go Hybe yet again with the paint shells. But Ray and Joey deliver. Aphrodite from up top. We know her. She's clutch for Aphrodite, and the smoke still gives her that space. But Jet will she be ready for this? She gets the headshot so clean. Sovereign, they take the full buy of SMG and take it for their own.
Oh, that was so good. Free upgrades as well. I have to say, this is a Singaporean Malaysian team's dream. You get a buy one, free one situation. We always ask for free gifts, and here we are. Look at that, how clean the headshots will be. I was going to comment on how earlier it felt like they were using their utilities a little bit too early. But now it seems like Sovereign, they finally have figured it out. They're actually holding on to their utils for later. And that situation has been working out so well. Saw the fault line comes through as well. You saw also here the tour de force. I think that's from Chet. I'm sorry, from Aphrodite. Chet waiting here, does get two. Joey gets two in the pocket. Fisky trades it out. Fisky gets two. Lucidity stops that. And for now, it's a 3-on-1. Aphrodite again, last player standing, as she is trying to find a way to win this 3-on-1. If she's able to isolate, she can win this duels. It's always been a situation where she thrives in. But if Sovereign still manages to play together, it may just be a different story. Lucidity is pretty low. She just needs to hit the head. But in this situation, Sovereign is smart. They're not going to peek. They're just going to wait. They are very aware that she has that tour de force. I spoke too soon. Lane, unfortunately, timing's a little bit off. Aphrodite still wins. 800 is what she's going for, but Lucidity very aware where she might be turning out.
Yeah, great off angle to try and stop Aphrodite from getting that clutch. I mean, she has a label. It's clutch for Aphrodite, but that was an almost one for her. But I think I am really loving how Sovereign is striking back when it comes to the defense. They're playing together. It's not the same picture that we saw in their attack, but this is a great performance for them because from 10-2, they won 4 straight rounds and they're narrowing the gap in terms of the scoreline. And this is something that Go Hybe and the rest of the members of SMG, they have to take this seriously because Sovereign, they're not just a new team. They're all together. They're very skilled. And they have to stop this. They want to stop the orbital strike, but Envious strikes. She even gets the second. And they're ready for the push out through the smoke because everybody else is blind. There is a shutdown for Joey. Takes down 2.
Oh my God,
unfortunately, Envious so fast to get her tracks. They take 11.
Oh my God, Envious just now. That speed was phenomenal. Coming in from two different areas was such a big move from them, coming in from door and main, catching them off guard. And on top of that, the picks that come through as well has been so good. If you notice just now the crossfires, look at that. Envious is already in, the teammates was already pretty much on the ready. But Envious just now, she was spinning every single angle. She will turn around, doesn't matter from how many, from drop, from main. Headshot. She's just there just to spray it out, and she's been putting almost everyone in their pockets. And I have to say, Fisky's orbital strike is the reason that happened because she knew that everyone was just gonna scatter. And Aphrodite will be the one picked off first by Ray. Lane, she hides in the smoke, trying to play the smoke criminal here, but they are all aware she's in there somewhere. Plant is happening. They only lost one, which is Aphrodite make that 2 as Fisky gets picked off as well. Lucidity already gets 2. And she might be 3, not quite. Well, now Envious as well. 2 in the pocket. Elaine stops it. 1-on-3 situation as Lucidity very much online. And the gap is closing. Just now, such a big gap by 11-6. Sovereign is climbing up.
Definitely climbing up and showing up as well. they're really figuring out how SMG's offense is gonna be. They know when to fall back. They know when to push forward. It's a big risk for them to try and push forward. At least when Ray got the first kill, she wanted to immediately fall back. But her pushing forward and giving the rest of the team members the information where they currently are, that allowed Lucidity to get the double kill. And this is the team play that we want to see from Sovereign. And inch by inch, they're getting closer, as you mentioned, and closing that gap. But the question really is, can Team SMG make this bigger? Because they don't really have a buy. Lucidity figures out that there are 4 there. She detects and she suppresses, so she throws in that fragment as well. That's gotta hurt for Envious. She does have the Blade Storm though, so it can be a game changer for her.
Done.
1 Blade Storm to the head gets the kill, and now they have control over the site. And even when it comes to the Showstopper, it just really damages, but there's no kill. Envious is out for the hunt. She delivers with another kill. And she even gets a Vandal. She's 3 HP. But this post plant is good for SMG. They all have one angle that they're watching. And each time that they push forward, they will be figured out. So Joey is taking this slow. She wants to make sure that she gets the kill. But shit, takes down Envious. And 1 by 1, Yoki also falls down. It's a 2v2. They just have to play for time. And this is gonna be a crossfire. A beautiful one. Because Fixky and Kohaibi, they all look towards their opponents and they kill them 1 by 1.
Match point.
They're all very aware that both of them were on drop, and having both members on drop is definitely not ideal. I have to give it to Chet though. She put 3 in her pocket that round. She equalized the round as well. It's just a situation where it was really hard for them to get those picks as their numbers go down.
Enemy remaining.
Crossfire was just so beautifully done. I like the fact that she's able to, if one person is in trouble, the other person can show up. That thrifty round is great for SMG as they finally get that game point. Here the tour de force as well as Blades already popped out here. Chet is able to make those big moves, but that Roomba forces her to give up that space. Envious is already on the side here as the other members of Sovereign are pushed back. This aggression from SMG is just really showing that they really just want to wrap this up. They gave up too many rounds. For now, we are seeing that Ray was also preparing on the side. Joey trying to get the angle here. She does have this blades, but look at that! Aphrodite, as well as the other members, were pretty much ready for it as Lucidity swaps out her gun. We are hearing that that null command come through right underneath. I don't think Lucidity is aware. She does win 1, but the crossfire as well from so many angles is not allowing her to get more picks than necessary. And there we go, map number 1 going to SMG.
SMG, when it comes to the aggression, it's not just about the space that they take, but it's also about the utilities. In that last round, what I really noticed is all of the members of Sovereign were clamped up together there in CT. They had no way forward. They had no entry point because of the aftershock thrown in by Yoki and the paint shells as well from Kohaibi. That leaves them nowhere else to go but to Nest. But Nest, if they go down, they fall down to the hands of Yoki as well. So it was great for SMG. They know this map very well, and I think they have their strat Bible taken into heart. And looking at this, SMG win it out with Kohaibi being the MVP for the team, but still we have to give credit to the rest of the members here of SMG. Fixky with a KDA of 2.7, higher even than Kohaibi herself. And even when it comes to Lucidity, she tried her best to be that great support main for the team members, but still it wasn't enough. SMG, the aggression is too strong, and Lucidity, even with delivering 18 kills, her precision is very great. Che also delivered all of the frags for the team, trying to make sure that the retake can be converted to a win. It's even balanced when it comes to the headshot percentage. We have 22.8% for Sovereign, but the frag wins for SMG, they didn't really even have to plant the spike. They stopped Sovereign during the intention of spike plants, and when it comes down to that, SMG just really shows us what aggression means.
I honestly think that SMG's usage of utils alongside of their skills in general have been phenomenal. You saw how they were using the aftershock alongside the paint shells. You saw fault line and paint shells, and then you see immediately after a util is used, you're gonna be seeing a swing out from SMG. And I have to say that's really great communication, very on point, and it really enables Kohabi as well as Envious to just really do their job as duelists. As for the side of Sovereign, yes, their gunplay has been phenomenal. They have really good teamwork, but at the end of the day, when you see them use their utils, you didn't really see the value out of it. And it's just in a lot of situations, they throw out their utils, they're not able to follow up because SMG in a lot of situations are not afraid to just walk through a lot of the utils. They will push smokes, they will just tank out the fault line, even through concusses, they will still take it. It doesn't really matter. And in a lot of situations as well, we saw Lucy throw out the suppression blade and they would just move forward, or they would just say, that's fine, if we get suppressed, we'll just push up. And in a lot of situations, they do win it. And that comes down to experience as well as confidence.
Definitely, the confidence is there for Team SMG. And I liked that you mentioned that they will never stop at all. Even if there's gonna be a null command there, there's gonna be a kill conversion all the way. SMG just showed us what dominance means in the map of Fracture. But that really is a question. They have 100% win rate in this one, and they just added 1 to the books, still undefeated in this map. But that just really means that Sovereign has to step up in their own map pick for game number 2.
Yeah, it's gonna be really exciting. I believe it was Icebox. And we just talked about how Icebox is the map that everyone is starting to pick in competitive. And I'm really curious as to map control. SMG also had some pretty good showing up on this map prior. And in terms of map control, I really gotta give it to SMG just because of their utility usage. Sovereign can work it out. I mean, when you think about Che, she's really able to take that control. But I really want to see Sovereign really just come together and just swing out as a team when they use their utils. But before we go into the next map, we're going to be taking a quick break, and when we come back, more VCT game changers for you guys. Sovereign tried to bring it back home, but unfortunately, the team that brings back point one for today's first series will be SMG. I'm Tash Bunny alongside Zira Aura, and this is the VCT Game Changers APAC series. This is stage one open for day number 3.
Yeah, and we really expected a lot from SMG and they delivered. As you mentioned, Sovereign, they did try to get some rounds in their favor, but the aggression is too strong for Team SMG. But will they show up in their own map pick, which is Icebox? We talk about isolation, we talk about the duels, and Icebox is going to be their own playground. The question really is, will the agent composition this time for Sovereign work out against the aggression of Envious, maybe as the Jet, and even Kohaibi as the Raze? Because we always know that Team SMG will deliver that offense all the time, but even in the defense, we see it. So now when it comes to the agent composition, will Sovereign adapt to the aggression and play these defensive agents? Or will they fight for that as well and try and do a double duelist setup? I'm not really too sure, but Icebox, I'm pretty excited for them. It's gonna be heat in the cold.
Yeah, heat in the cold is the right word. Icebox is a map that really rewards aggression. Doesn't matter if you're on attack and defense. There's so many different areas of how you want to play this map in particular. There's a lot of map control needed too, especially as you go into B. There's changes into there. So coming in from B long is actually one of the hardest things to get onto site, as the site is very long as well. You're going to see a lot of snipers coming in through that area. Same goes for A ramps. So coming through that map control, I was talking about kitchen, tube, under tube, mid is where I'm expecting to see a lot of players try to get control. But in terms of utils, they can kind of stop that control by smoking, by putting someone there, or just reacting to the information. So far, SMG still shows a huge mastery to that, but I'm really hoping that Sovereign, because this is their map pick, because they're very familiar with this map, they're able to equalize the score and give SMG a run for their money.
Yeah, and as Sovereign, because this is their map pick, we're expecting them to know their agent composition. Earlier on, when they were in Fracture, they were still deciding whether or not to go for the Yoru, to go for the Astra, and a little bit of a mix-up for their own roles. But at the moment, it seems that they already hover their preferred agents. Elaine on that Viper, Lucidity now as that Jet. Early on, we saw Lucidity pop off. She had 18 kills for the map of Fracture, and this time I want her to show up with that operator. She was holding one as the KO, and now I think it fits her well now as the Jet. The Jet, however, we saw her as the Chamber, but she's gonna be the Sage for the team, and Ray as that support Sova. I wouldn't really call it support, but the amount of information that you do provides it for your team. But still, as a Sova that has a lot of that quick thinking, you still can be that offensive. But for the side of SMG here, Kohaibi as that Chamber and Envious as that Jet, I guess the roles have already been set. And what I'm looking forward to seeing here is really Fixky. Fixky has been delivering as a Sova, so I might be able to see a lot of Hunter's Fury kills, barbecue kills, as Seiya would always say it on stream.
Yeah, she does.
She always delivers with the Hunter's Fury. She's kind of like a female Hiko at this point. Because yeah, every time that she would pop up Hunter's Fury, she would get a tag, and she even gets one even if they escape the second one. So, I mean, that level of intuition for Fixky is something remarkable.
Yeah. Now, coming back into their agent lineups here, we saw Joey on Reyna, and I feel like Joey on Reyna is more of like not just a comfort pick, but it's something that she's very, very confident in. Now, a double duelist situation for Sovereign can work out for Icebox, especially if you want to play aggressive. And I'm hoping that would be the case here. But as for SMG, yesterday I was telling Zaya that SMG is a team that usually goes back to what works really well in terms of meta, ability usage, and they usually perform it really well. So it's going to be a team with more control going against a team with a double duelist. But of course, the staples are still there. Like we see a Sova for Ray, Chet on the stage. Sage is one thing that you really want to see on this map because the post plant is phenomenal with her wall, especially for the gun round. You are also able to give maybe Lucidity a boost up, give her those very nasty angles can work out as well as stall and buy for time. We see Viper kind of almost 100% pick rate for this map just because of how much control she can bring onto here. But with the double duelist comp, might be seeing something that we saw from Paper X last stage for this map as well, which caused everyone to ban this map against them. So I'm really hoping they're able to deliver that. But coming into SMG side, because of Kohaibi on Chamber, I feel like it's going to be very hard for Sovereign to do flanks or just come up with a pincer situation because immediately SMG will pick up on the move. And on top of that, Kohaibi is a great shot. Her firepower, gunplay is very good. Just as scary as Kphrodite's as well as Envious's. So it's not going to be an easy task coming into B long as well as A main.
And I loved that Kohaibi just really wanted to invest most of her utility on the Headhunter. Right now, she has bought her up
Holy, there's 6
bullets. Yeah, I mean the usual buy is going to be half armor and then a couple of Headhunter bullets, but no. She bought up what she can, and that's 0 credits for her, but she wants to get on with it now. I mean, you mentioned her firepower is amazing. Her aim is very stellar in terms of precision. She does recover a lot when she misses. So this is going to be something scary for them, especially now that Kohaibi is the one guarding the A site together with Envious. In this dynamic duo is something that they have to be careful about. But looking at where Sovereign currently is in the map, I feel like they're going to play the defaults first. They want to try and figure out where Kohaibi is going to be, where Viper is going to be, and then they will strike.
Oh, Envious. She loves playing aggressive, and I don't think that's going to change. Still waiting here. As Joey from the side, they're very aware that she's there. She took some chip damage out of that. She is not moving. She wants those hits. She wants to pop them if she can. For now, Ray does spot her. As well as Elaine, it's a situation where it's very scary. Trying to push her forward there, Kohaibi. As well as Envious get 1 each. Despite the fact that she gets flushed out, it doesn't really matter. Chet, 30 HP left. Yoki does get picked off there by Lucidity. Chet gets 1 too. The wall is coming through. It's going to be vertical this time. As Fixkey moving forward here, it's going to be a very tall order to come through. But I don't think there's any corners she can play. But Kohaibi on the side here. Chet gonna clear out. Gets her right from below. Chet being very sneaky here as Vicky still finds her in the end. Lucidity trades off Envious. And now it's a 1 versus 2. It's Fixkey. Lucidity is 2 duelists she has to work with here. And all they have to do is buy for time. Fixkey gonna be shocking that area just to clear them out. And they are actually chipped here. One shot is all they need. But nice win from both of them. At the same time, make sure that they don't lose anyone in the process.
Yeah, that was such a quick trade. Immediately, the kill feed just shows 2 kills. Just means that in terms of really mastery of the map, they know how to really pick up pieces after that loss in Fracture. This seems to be their playground because they're winning the duels. They're figuring out well where they have to be at the right time. And even given that Fixkey has thrown in some shock bolts on Sovereign, I mean, you mentioned about the chip damage, but still, them peaking at the same time is just really their strength. So maybe this is going to be something that they have to do. But now Lucidity has the handle. And again, the shorty, it will really connect just much. She escapes, but Chet does deliver the kill.
That was a very ideal situation. Playing in front of Tube. They anticipated that. Worked out in their favor. Envious gonna be punished for moving forward that way. Kohaibi still picks 1 off. Can it be 2 not white? As Elaine is popping off alongside Chet. Chet, making sure no one is on the flank here. Chet with 3k in the pocket. And today, Chet is really showing off.
Yeah, I mean, they're showing off. as well. And this Sovereign, when it comes down to how slow that they will go, they expect the aggression from SMG at this point. You know how careful they can be and how they really are ready with their guns out every time that they push out towards a site. There's no sense of comfort for SMG for the first two rounds, because Sovereign, they know where SMG will be hiding. But now, when it comes down to the buy of Team SMG, we know that they will always deliver when it comes to the aggression. But Lucidity, she doesn't back down at all, and she even gets the kill. She actually delivers. Go back, Kohaidi from up top. That cheeky position delivers to, and Elaine gets the trade against Aphrodite. It's two members for the team of Sovereign. Chet and Elaine is just now Chet.
It's a trade and trade.
Ready. And as early as now, she does have the resurrection available. She can try to revive one as long as she gets one kill here. So she's very slow and steady, but too quick is Kohaibee to get the 4K for that round.
Oh, this change in strat from SMG worked out so well. This is the same strat they used over in Fracture, where just now we saw only Envious moving forward, as well as another teammate in the back. Didn't work out twice in a row, and this time they're like, okay, let's bring the fight to them. Let's have so many different angles where they don't know where to even look. And they came back from that. And now as we go into round 4, this is a situation where all members have the same equal playing ground, because everyone is equipped with the full buys. Envious again. This is what I really love about her. She's not afraid to take this really crazy high risks. They already get spotted out there. Slow orb will buy some time as Envious still picks off the lane and make that 2 before traded out by Joey. Okay, Aphrodite stepping it up here. The revive does come through, equalizing them. Is Elaine and Envious out of the way, and without Elaine, it's gonna be a little bit rough for the post plants rather, because they're not gonna be having the smokes or the toxic walls. Fixed B watching mid. Oh, that timing. She wasn't able to catch them as they were doing the rotate back onto A. Lucidity is still waiting, but look at the discipline coming up from Fixed B, not over peaking. Lucidity is still trying to catch out anyone here onto mid. Does finally swing out, but will be spotted out by the recon as Joey does find Yoki. It's a trade again for them. Here comes through 1 and 2 immediately pushes forward. That's a very, very dominant play from Joey. Fixie picked off right now. Kohaibee picks her back in return. Spots one out, has to give the space here. Waits for Aphrodite as they move up onto the back side on ramps here. Shock Dart comes through just to buy time. It's a situation where it's a very, very complicated for SMG. Aphrodite trying to move forward. They do hear her out. Aphrodite does find Lucidity is Chet only to deal with. And now, where is Ray? Playing under hell. He's aware, spots the head. Oh, just immediately wins it and gets the defuse.
Wow, I mean, how SMG was able to turn that around. Sovereign, they already had the great positions for the post plan. They were set up for the crossfire, but each time Kohaibee and Aphrodite really peeked out, they got the kill, and it was just all down to Ray. Even with the drop down of Kohaibee, Ray got some damage, and it was smart for Aphrodite to take the shortcut up top against that wall, because that gives them a lot of the space, and it gives them chance for them to actually hide from the headshot opportunity that Ray has for her. And look at this.
High ground
Even her
advantage.
even recovering from that is such a great play for Aphrodite.
Really liking that wall. This very aggressive forward wall not only lets them farm orbs but also buys time. Kohaibee this time, she's playing a wider angle than before just to get that first peek. This time, they're not exactly gonna be moving forward through mid. She does hear the audio cues, but now Elaine, I think she heard someone coming in from under tube here. They don't have the economy, but does it really matter as she still gets the head? Aphrodite does get Elaine in return. Yoki has to give up that space. Chip waiting. She does get an upgrade out of that. Very worth it situation, and this time the wall will be on screens. The revive comes through for her, for Kohaibee. She does get a second chance in this round. As Lucidity, she has the blades. She has a shorty. She can play any angle. It will work out in her favor. wall gonna be broken down here as they give up some space not to get shot out in the head. Slow Orb comes through, Shock Dart as well, just to kind of clear out those corners, and this still finds Jet regardless. Lucidity with the blades gets me through to Gohaibi as well as Kifrodite. Get one each and Gohaibi seals it off. Very beautiful retake from SMG.
I will not die.
What retakes are SMG showing us? I mean, when it comes down to them being one by one, it's as if they're all coordinating with each other. I mean, Gohaibi is just gonna push forward, and the way that she's so aware of the map, being able to hide from those coming from the right side. And when it comes to the replay, it was an almost win for Sovereign with these sheriffs. And even with Lucidity's skill with the Blade Storm, but no, it's always gonna be the retakes for SMG. And when it comes to aggression, they show it in the retake, and that's the reason why they win these rounds. And they don't just show aggression just so risky. They make sure that they deliver the kills. It's slow, it's steady, and it's remarkable for Team SMG. Even when it comes down to the decision making, when it comes to using the ultimates, we see that from them. And I think this is the reason why not like Fracture is their map. They don't necessarily just have to be thinking about themselves, but they're so aware of where their opponents are. And similarly in Icebox, this is what they show.
Envious, she's trying to get some value from that dash, but I don't think it's gonna happen just yet. A is the site they want to hit. But I'm really liking how both Vipers are really taking their time in setting up those utils, not using it so early. Just really shows not only discipline, but also the idea that they want to play for later. Meaning they know A is going to be, look at how fast they set it up. For now, Gohaibi has to give up that space. Gets tagged out here as Yoki immediately finds Elaine. Is going to be denying the plant. Snake Bite as well, just to make some space there, just to flush them out. Lucidity from the side, but Che already taken out by Kifrodite. Lucidity playing a very dangerous corner. Gohaibi and Pixie get one each trade. Does get Gohaibi in the end, but Kifrodite, unfortunate for Ray, she wasn't able to connect the shots. And they're not gonna get that round.
When it comes down to looking at the kill feed, it's always going to be duels in favor of SMG. Yes, there is going to be a trade for Sovereign, but it's always a 2-for-1. This is where SMG now highlights their strength. It's the team play, it's the timing, and them all playing together makes Sovereign really create a lot of questions within the map, because they already took space, right? They already had the A. All they had to do was really plant now the spike, but because of Yoki just lingering at the back of the site, didn't allow them to get at all the comfort that they needed to even shift to the post plant positions. And this is what I also love about SMG. It's not just about the aggression, but their anchors. Their anchors are pretty solid as well.
I agree. But there's also another flip side, or at least the other side of the coin here, from what I saw yesterday from Sovereign as well, is the fact that they're so eager to get onto the site that in a lot of situations I feel like they didn't move back on to the back of site just to clear it out just yet. I think the idea is get spike planted and we move in together to clear it to the back, but the other team is reacting by taking up that space. So I think this is something that is very, I would say SMG is very good at, knowing that when it comes to clearing the back of site, we just wait. We don't have to necessarily peek out. So this creates that false sense of security, as you mentioned in that last match as well. Regardless, Lucidity already moving forward. 60 from the top, death from above, not quite as Che stops it. And they will trade that out. They know that Lucidity is on the top. Joey survives by the skin of her teeth just now, does get the overheal. And Gohaibi still waiting right now. Oh my god, and that's timing right as Joey looks away. Lucidity still wins that though, but Yoki just needs one small tap as Lucidity is knocked out. Elaine, the only last person alive, she only has a stinger. She can win it if she's able to isolate, play a little bit more on close quarter, and she knows exactly where the other members of SMG are. But it's still a 2-1 situation here. It's really hard for her to get that value from that gun. Yoki shuts it down.
I loved that Kifrodite did not stop defusing even if she saw defeat of her opponent. She had so much trust. Yeah, stick it. I have trust in you.
And don't fake. Can't use bros.
Yeah, I mean And that's what I love about SMG. The amount of trust that they have with each other. It wasn't seen in the last few opens, but now they're really improving in terms of the team play, the coordination, the communication, and they know their strengths now. Their strength is with each other, and they always show up, right? I mean, there's always gonna be a double peak here. Kohaibee and Yoki here in A. Even if one misses, there's gonna be a follow through for Yoki, and this is what I'm talking about.
Please run to Joey Chit. Will end up trading it out. Yoki playing this corner. They were not aware, but Trey does clear it out. Barely missing that shot here. Ray from the side. Very aware that Kohaibee is there. Also very scared for her. Okay, Aphrodite is still waiting. Ray can play for the post plant here if she wants. She can just go with the Hunter's Fury. I spoke too soon. As Kohaibee gets her straight through the body. Still plays behind Generator. She is on the move, moving side by side here. First person to peek out will be the one, but look at them move together as they are already pretty much aware where exactly the Viper is in her pit.
Yeah, I mean, that was so quick as well. At least it was a lane to first see Aphrodite, but the flick from Aphrodite was so nasty. It just really is about moving together, right? I mean, I mentioned that Kohaibee did miss a few shots, but still, Yoki did not move a muscle. They weren't scared at all, and together with Vixky to save the day, they just really get the advantage in terms of the numbers. It's all the time that way for Team SMG. Even though they are in a 2v3 situation, even though that Sovereign has already taken the site, they manage to still string in the advantage. It's like they're building their own castle, and A is basically impenetrable at the moment.
It's a very pretty castle.
Sovereign. Yeah, it's a very pretty castle. And probably a fortress, basically.
It really is. When you have the right guard, speaking of that, it's gonna be Yoki! Shit, will get Kohaibee out of the way regardless. Joey playing on the backside here, not getting, but does get a ship damage in. Yoki is just so very low, does get the kill here, just spot out the gun barrel! Just runs and guns that works so well for Joey. Aphrodite from the back end just does find Ray. Joey spots her out straight to the head. But it's gonna be SMG that won't be winning this round. I do agree with you, Che, that the classic RGX is better.
I mean, when it comes down to the delivery, look at this. I mean, they knew Yoki would always be hanging around at the back of the side. Basically, that's just really her comfort zone. But
it's a little pit.
Joey just takes it away. Yeah, I mean, it's like her Viper's pit, but without the pit itself.
Without the green.
Yeah, without the green jelly, and it's just she doesn't really move a muscle, and that's why Joey really wanted to take her down.
I love seeing this from Lucidity. Immediately goes forward. Vixky as well. She does get Joey. She does find Envious in the end. Vixky gets two. That's the value you wanted. Lucidity moves forward. That's two in her pocket. This is what I wanted to see from Lucidity. She is online. Took up so much space here. They can't come onto site. For now, other members of Sovereign, they want to play it real safe. They want to take their time here, as finally they said, okay, I have A site, but it might be a little bit too late because all the other members of SMG have slowly rotated. But look at where Yoki is. She's still holding on to mid in case they're going to be doing a rotate. But the walls, the post plant has already been set up here. Kohaibee, she sets up that teleport just in case she wants to push through if possible. I wouldn't be surprised if she did that. Kohaibee is known for those crazy, aggressive plays. The plant will be denied there by those shots as Yoki under two comes forward, finds Ray. Ray lean from the backside there, tries to get a pick, not quite able to, just going side by side, just buying time here. Lucidity wants to go on aggressive. She does still have an updraft here. It's gonna just move forward, finds Yoki one more time. From the other side, Kohaibee just going back and forth as Vixky. Kohaibee, that's 3k in the pocket for Vixky. That Hunter's Fury was huge.
I told you it's Vixky's Hunter's Fury because the opening picks were for Sovereign. But no, she delivers the trade from so far away. And she gets two. And even the third one with a double peak with Kohaibi. And I mean, imagine Yoki's prowess here to just really wait up back, to wait for the spike plant. And Kohaibi finding the timing together with Fixky to take them down. And this is what I mentioned to you about the frag wins of Team SMG. They don't give the objective wins to Sovereign as well, and that's why they can't really manage the economy that well. Looking at Lucidity's buy, it's a shorty. They fall short in terms of the economy. They fall short as well in terms of really planting the spike down because of the amount of space SMG takes away from them. And it's not just about the flanks. Yeah, I mean, it's not just about the flanks, but it's also how they just really move together as one unit, right? It's like they're a SWAT team.
That's a really good way of seeing it. But this is a very annoying situation for Sovereign. Viper's Pit to stop them. The wall just buys time. And Kifrodite moves forward. Gets to look at that. Beautifully done. That isolate is phenomenal. Does she get three? She's good for three, but finally stopped. That's all her on her own. She's a solo Sage anchor just for B main.
30 seconds left.
She is the barrier. She doesn't need a wall. She is the wall. And she gets three. All of them are reach headshots. And Ray, with a headshot of her own, takes down Fixky. But there's a pit for Yoki here. You have to be careful about this. She throws in the recon ball to try and figure out, and it was destroyed. But no marker for them to know where they currently are now. They see the head, they see the legs. Gets the kill anyway, but they don't have time to plant.
Oh my god, Ray!
One enemy remaining.
Oh my god, Yoki just surviving that got them the
Last
win.
round before the switch.
And she even gets the kills.
Oh man, still a cleanup though, but oh my god. That Ray pop-off was just phenomenal. Unfortunately not able to give them the round, but still.
That was just so beautiful. I want to see the replay of that. I mean, Kifrodite did deliver, but the 3K, and that's why it was a 2v4 as early as what? How many seconds?
Enemy remaining.
That was a jump. Yoki still, it was just like a situation where it was just so very close. They didn't realize that Yoki was still there, and that deny was just something else. But looking at that, that's Lucidity already out of the way. It's gonna be tough. No Julius getting onto site is gonna be one of the hardest things ever. For now, Fixky coming in through mid, trying to get anyone, but Yoki this time, she's a bit smart. I'm gonna reposition myself, but there is gonna be a wall to revive Lucidity, and there's no post-plant wall for them. For now, Yoki is still waiting. It's the other members, they're thinking about hitting A here, but you are seeing two members playing close to mid. Rotate isn't going to take too long. Lucidity, very fast entry onto site. Taking time to get those picks there. They don't know that Yoki is up there. She's very quiet when they sees her. But for now, Plant finally coming through. No more denies. There's still another 4 members to deal with. Slows, buy some time. Fixky coming up through ramp. The other members as well, finally making it here to the rotates as Elaine plays in the back corner here. The recon may just get them some information immediately shot out. They know as they can try to coordinate together. Che immediately gets one. Can she good for 2? Yes, she is! From the side, straight to the face, does get her Joey and Che as well. This is a pop-off as they slowly close the gap. Only 4-point deficit.
Switching sides.
And now Sovereign's time to defend the sites. SMG, however, they did so well in a couple of rounds there. Almost flawless rounds. Them moving in through the retakes like a SWAT team all together now. But this time, Sovereign knew the formula and they knew how to break the code in terms of their retakes. They just really wanted to not hide it all. They showed up every time Kifrodite would walk through the crosshairs. They'd fall down to the hands of Chet. I mean, Chet has been very valuable to the team, not just for the walls, but also when it comes to the frags. I mean, she has been showing up together with Lucidity when it comes to delivering the frags that they need. Unfortunately, the SWAT team strat of Team SMG, it's very, very hard to break. And even if they have the advantage in terms of the heads, still one by one they fall down to their demise.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of post plan as well, what SMG is able to do for retakes here have been absolutely phenomenal. It's really hard to really pinpoint where exactly they're going to be coming through and how they work with their utils. I think that Sovereign does have the right idea. We saw them finally popping off toward the end there, but now it's going to be reset. I'm a little bit worried with this reset, will their momentum be cut off? And on top of that, it's going to be a situation here where SMG will be playing on attack. So as SMG plays on attack, I think this is a situation where, well, on Fracture, it looked like they were more comfortable on defense than attack. But for this round, rather, for this map, I believe it favors attack a little bit more, especially if you know how to use your walls for the post plant, especially if you are not too early in using your utils. And I see Sovereign as well changing that mindset from using all the utils early to later. But I have to say, their post plans have been great, especially as they figure out how exactly SMG works when it comes to post plan. So this reset is going to be very, very huge here because I want to see how on attack that double duelist strat will give them the value. Will give them the value as they play on defense rather. So maybe we might see Joey play mid. She can do the lurks, she can do flanks as well, especially as Reina, you do have all the utils to play in a very, very selfish way if you choose to. But at the same time, you also have the Sage walls as well. We saw how Kferdini used her wall just to isolate, to play around, as well as use for retakes. We might just be seeing a different sort of situation here, as I think that Chet is on an agent where she's very comfortable on.
Yeah, I mean, earlier on, she was the chamber, and right now she's heading the back in terms of the kills. She's at 15 at the moment, and right after that would be the two duelists. I know that you mentioned that it has to be a little bit of aggression for both Lucidity and Joey for them to really crack the attack of Team SMG. But I think it's anybody's game in terms of the pistol round, and whoever wins this will draw the momentum. At the moment, momentum and the heat, they're on a roll here. They're not stopping at all. They're just hitting the accelerator without any brakes. And
this is very fast.
Wall, they get A, but Lucidity, no wall, no problem. It's gonna be the bullets going through that smoke, but one by one, SMG, each of them get the kills, and it's just now down to Chet. And Lucidity gets another kill, but 24 HP. Can I get a heal, sister? There's not much that Chet can do. She already used the heal for somebody else, so they're waiting. You have to push forward. Yoki captures Chet, and it's gonna be a shock bolt, and she dies to it. Fixie, what is the use of utility? What is the use of a gun if you have utility? That's Fixie's answer to everything.
Shock dart.
Still
shock getting a lot of value.
Down B.
Even after the nerf. And I have to say, this W gaming situation works so well for SMG. And I think that Lucidity has that right idea too. We saw those just sprays through the smoke. She's very aggressive. I had my eye on Lucidity for a while here. Just the aggression coming through from here is just something to behold compared to the rest of the team. For now, Envious already trying to move onto the site. They are having the information from the Elder, immediately runs on top of the Jenny as Joey will be the one picked off. Envious gets 2 for now. Elaine gets knocked out as well. This is like a firing squad as everyone they see does get knocked out. Lucidity only with the Sheriff. She can land those headshots, but getting onto the site is gonna be a little hard. They're still waiting for her flank there. She's all the way on A main here. She has the high ground advantage. She just spot one out, relaying that information to her teammate Lucidity. All she needs is a peek. Yoki picked off by Chet. Envious does find Lucidity in return, but Chet not really able to do anything. That's honestly gonna be at that point, but they are eyeing for round 3 where they get the rifles.
Yeah, and now it's time for Sovereign to shine. I mean, Sovereign, they're high and mighty in terms of the individual skill, but when it comes down to the teamwork in terms of the defense, one by one they fall to the hands of SMG. Yes, there was a disparity in terms of the firepower, but now is their time to really just play together because SMG just really is showing the third team. I think I laughed for a little bit there because Fixkey and Capridiety just really both went on the ropes to secure the kill. They're not scared at all, and even when it comes to the precision of that, they don't really care. They're just gonna spray and pray, and this might be round take 2 of pressing W here to take a kill of the site. But Joey, she delivers a kill, double headshot for her. And they're slowly creeping in. The SWAT strat is something that they want to do.
Joey.
It's the third one. Fixkey
One
delivers a
enemy
kill,
remaining.
and Kohaibi as well, but it's down to Kohaibi. She's not the Raze. She's gonna be the chamber for this one. But Jet prevails. Lucidity making sure that there's no more kills for SMG for that round, and now they get what, 5 points in terms of deficit, and slowly and surely I'm hoping Sovereign gets their place.
Really liking this defense, and that's the value of having two duelists. A little bit more scary when it comes to holding sight, but the firepower you get is phenomenal, especially when you have a player very comfortably playing on the Reyna. Right now she does have Empress as well, so she's really able to get a lot of value. She gets a pick. Envious, as usual, she wants to go fast, she wants to get on top of sight, she wants to get those heads popping. Not too sure if they know that Lucidity is behind yellow. I think she may have an idea. Regardless, Lucidity, she does have her dash on. She wants to get some value out of it. She needs to get a pick. She's gonna try to peek. Kiryoki was a little bit faster than first contact, and immediately they rush onto site. That's all they need. Envious already moving forward. They're playing behind the wall. She wants to use it to her advantage. Joey on the side. Envious as well. They do spot on the Aldron. Envious will be taking advantage of that. Thank you very much for that information. Chat playing the lurk here. Care for Daddy, you are not looking in the right way. Envious finds Joey, but Chat doesn't find Care for Daddy. But the reaction for Fixkey to bench his teammate as Elaine finds Envious in the back of sight. With only Elaine 1-on-3, she will be replying Toxin Wall. She can play it to her advantage so long as she can isolate them. The wall is breaking. All they have to do is wait, and that's what Kohaibi did.
The wait is over, however, because SMG is closer and closer to getting match point. Sovereign, it was good intention for them to try and really play forward with Lucidity here, taking over yellow, but Yoki was just too fast, and Envious just creeping up, not really minding the decay that she got as she crossed through the toxin screen, got her all of the advantage, and even the space. Elaine took her down, but the rest of the members were just really waiting for anybody to tap the spike for the defuse, and then they strike. And Sovereign, at the moment, it's gonna be a low buy for them. This is a risk. They all bought up. And if they lose this round, they're not gonna be having enough for the next one. But the risk is something that they're willing to take because Elaine takes down the blades of Envious.
Not sure if that was an overheat from her. It was very aggressive, but Kohaibi is there to step up as Ray and Lucidity get one each to equalize, but Fixkey gets 2. It's a very scary situation here. 1-on-2 for Chet. Winnable. She plays the cards right. We do know where she is already, but look at where the other member of Fixkey is playing on top of ramps here. They have 2 different angles to play from, high ground and a low ground. Does get spread out here. Kohaibi sprays out 7 HP, no problem, she says.
She ran and gunned her down, but Kohaibi did as well. She just sprayed through and hoped the bullets will connect, and it does. It does connect for the rest of SMG as well. Kohaibi with that entry. I mean, we all know her as a very aggressive duelist, but even as a chamber, she delivers. She's very smart in using this agent. I just really have to commend her use of the rendezvous as well. She doesn't really seem to usually, like how others would play it is you use the teleport back, but no, she teleports forward. She aggresses. It's like a dash in for her.
That's how she plays Jet. Revive comes through for Yoki as well. Joey This is a great angle for her. She does have Empress as well. All she needs is a pick and she can either overheal or dismiss away, getting that valuable information. Okay, Aphrodite, she is gonna wait there, but Chet is gonna slow them down with the slow orb. Did see the wall already set up as well. As Chet has to give up space, but she is still going to at least buy for some time as her teammate immediately comes, but the sprays come through, and the Viper's Pit
Spike
is
planted.
online. Spike planted already. Chet wants to move forward. Aphrodite was just rushing through. Immediately spots her out. Elaine from the side here. If she sprays, they know where exactly she's coming from. You are going to be hearing some sprays back to her area. In general, Envious tries to get this pick, but Kohibi will be the one getting the pick onto Joey Ray. Right, Yoki as well. Yoki gets two.
Attackers
There was
win.
also a Hunter's Fury. This is a very scary situation. Two very scary ults. Imagine you have the Viper's Pit with the decay and you're already down to 1 HP. One small tag from the Hunter's Fury is all they need.
Yeah, and even throwing in the shock bolt, I thought Vixky was gonna throw in another one of those Hunter's Fury barbecue strats that she has, because she always does that. It always connects. It always just really pinches Sovereign, and I think out of all of out of the two maps, I think SMG always has to be utility based, and in this map of Icebox, it really worked well for them. It was uncontainable. The use of the Viper's Pit at the very last round gave them that space and allowed them to push forward. They weren't really backing down, and even Envious in that situation, knowing when they would really go back to try and get damage done for the rest of the team members of Sovereign. Whew, I mean, SMG just really delivered what we wanted to see, the teamwork, the gameplay. But unfortunately, Sovereign, they showed their best, but it wasn't just enough for them because this is their map pick. They were only able to deliver 4 rounds in their attack. And when it boils down to the defense, they only got 1. SMG just shows up every time.
It's a situation where I believe that Sovereign, they have the basics of the map. But when it comes down to just ability usage as well as confidence, SMG was just up there in a situation where they were very thorough. Every time they take a site, it's just so aggressive. Headshot again, still going towards Sovereign's side, but SMG is a team where they deny the plant in a lot of situations. You can't even win by post plant either. It looked a lot better on defense side for Sovereign, but SMG, they were all, this is a situation same as we saw for our last map where they were just miles ahead in terms of rounds. It's a very scary situation where, yes, you may come back on the other half, but you have given up too many rounds, which just gives you such little room for error moving forward. We saw Lucidity come online, we saw Chet come online, and we did see the fight in them to come through, but in a lot of situations, SMG were already high in momentum. They just cut off any momentum that Sovereign starts to get.
Yeah, the firepower was there. Looking at both of the maps, the headshot percentage just really is in favor of the team of Sovereign. But when it comes down to making sure that the kills are delivered through the utilities, it's just really SMG's power. Chet did really show up a lot during this map. And looking at all of the kills, Envious doesn't really push back. She pushes forward all the time, even if it's a
W
small
Gaming.
window. She finds that opportunity, and W Gaming and SWAT team strat really worked well for Team SMG.
I agree, and I have to say, Lucidity also showed that same tenacity. But the difference here between Lucidity and her other teammates is that Lucidity is just a little bit too front. She may just be a little bit too aggressive for her own good, I believe, and she gets picked off in the end. Yes, she does get that value, 1 to 2 picks maybe, but at the end of the day, when your other teammates are not there to at least trade out with you, when that happens, that's where it starts to get really scary. Like that moment there, you saw how Lucidity was just very disconnected from her other teammates. That's what we want to see from Envious as well. Envious, she's not afraid to go aggressive, but you are going to be seeing someone close by to at least get that trade in return. So end of the day, I believe that in terms of how they're playing, perhaps because Sovereign is still very much a new team. They're still trying to figure out each other's tempo. And at the same time, they may just be in sync in terms of timing, but SMG knows how to just trample that. So in a lot of times, execution-wise, may be in their head, but they're not able to do it just because of SMG.
Yeah, the SWAT team topples over the high and almighty Sovereign. So congratulations to Team SMG for moving forward. As I mentioned, it's do or die for this match. But we hope to see Team Sovereign go again for the next few opens that we have for VCT Game Changers. We hope to see you guys again. But again, there's gonna be match number 2 coming right up, and it's very, very exciting. Two of the top teams here in VCT Game Changers 2021, and they go head to head again. Alter Ego Celeste and Team NGXFE will go against each other. So, of course, that's gonna be exciting. So don't go away. We will be right back.